It probably looks like I've not been doing crap on my 68 Camaro project, but dude, I've been accomplishing some major stuff behind the scenes. First of all, the doghouse has to come off because it's getting a 454 and a Muncie with a Hirsch shifter, getting ready to button up the bottom end, then put the set of heads on it and drop it in here. 454 that's a standard bore. Bought it from a friend and just kind of cleaned it up, did a ball hone. It has new bearings, cam bearings, and the freeze plugs and all that kind of stuff. A buddy up north who has a really cool old C10 that he calls Orange Truck wants this engine because he's put like several small blocks in it over the years, but you know, they wear out. And believe it or not, he drives it enough to wear them out. So he's gonna get this 327 so it'll stay in the family. Now, before you start saying, what the heck are you doing, dude? Original 327? No, not the original 327. That came out of a 66. The way I'm gonna do this whole thing with the big block and the headers to make everything fit better and all that, the whole doghouse is just coming off. I don't have inner fenders, so it shouldn't be that big of a deal. So let's start unbolting bolts. Undo the radiator hoses. Pull the wiring down from here, pull it all toward the engine and off of this cross member, and then start undoing the bolts back there, pull the whole doghouse forward. That way we can get in there a whole lot easier. The new quarter is kind of mocked up, kind of sort of maybe in place. It looks really close to where it's going to be. The front end off now, I need to just start doing this stuff like, you know, headers and engine mounts. I'm going to mark around where the distributor goes in there, kind of in behind it, because I'm going to beat the crap out of that with a big hammer. Because I want to continue using an HEI. It just works really well. I take off the 327 sticker off the air cleaner and put that on there. Running out of daylight and running out of stuff to take off. Got to take off all the clutch stuff. Transmission's coming out with it, but I'm giving him the water pump and the fuel pump and all that kind of stuff because I won't be using any of the small block stuff. Sometimes you got to take the cylinder heads apart, put them on new heads, and take the stuff out of the old ones, and it gets complicated. A quick reminder of what we're doing here. I had the 279 heads, which were a Gen 5. They have a much smaller chamber, but they have these weird water jackets. Like right here on a Gen 4, these are round. They're huge on a Gen 5, and you have to do some drilling into the block, and I don't want to do that. The block's already together. So we're just going to get these with a much larger chamber. They're like 118 compared to the 100s on the others, and we're going to shave these down as much as we can without having to alter the intake. That's good stuff right there. Yeah. Okay, all the research I have checked out says that this came with a 118 to a 120 cc chamber on the 781 head. By taking 30 thousandths off, we should get it up about a half point. So, considering those engines came with like 7.5 to 8.5, we could be approaching 9 to 1 compression, which would be exactly what I want. I'm also going to be using a thin head gasket. We're going to be making some passes on this though, because we're taking some meat out of this head. 30 thousandths is supposedly the amount you could cut it out without having to alter the manifold. So that's what we're going for. Yeah, it's biting down on there hard. The first time to straighten the surface, we did 1.5 thousandths. From here on out, every pass is going to be 5 thousandths, and we're taking it down to 30. But you can hear it's chomping in there right now. See if we can get some light. It's getting some meat off there now. Well, the last cylinder head is done. That means I'm going to take this back to the house, put them on the block, and start putting the top end on, the manifold and all that kind of stuff. I also have to do an easy out on a bolt that broke on the timing cover. Those things are made out of like pasta. Yeah, they've both been pressure tested and they're ready to go back home, pop them in the new 454, and we'll make some progress. Believe it or not, the cold weather has even affected Florida, driving me indoors to do just basically the transmission stuff. It's a Muncie M20 63 to 65, which means that the shaft, well, we won't see it on this side. The counter shaft, which goes in that little hole right there, is a 7/8 of an inch instead of the later style, which is 1 inch. Going to use some Lucas red and tacky grease, start assembling everything, putting the bearings in on the counter shaft, on the main gear set, and start putting it all together in there. I'm not going to film all that because it gets so tedious. And to be truthful, there are so many videos already on YouTube that are fantastic. I might, since most of the exhaust is cut off, be able to just pull this header straight up out of here. The passenger side's obviously the easier side. But since this is a non-power steering, non-power brake car, I don't really anticipate swapping the motor being a huge deal, really. Cherry bomb on the end of an old rusty header. That drain plug was the size of a 53 Buick 8. Put a 13/16 on it and a 7/8. Wasn't big enough. Jeez, man. Somebody took that off a Kenworth or something. Well, it happened again. My neighbor dropped by. We start talking about cars. Next thing you know, an hour and a half goes by and I've done nothing. I have to see basically how to get that bolt undone on that cross member. Then I'm going to start pulling this thing forward. It's pretty good under here generally. I'm still replacing the floors, but not anytime soon. I'm going to use the same bell housing that was with the Saginaw. No more sun. Got to stop for the night. Almost have that small block yanked out of there. The tiny baby little bitty dinky block. And the 454 will be in the car tomorrow.